Good afternoon, beautiful people, my becomers. How is everyone? Hope everyone is doing amazing. Happy Tuesday. It's my first Tea Talks with Coach Tracey of December. Hello, everyone who's joined me over on Instagram. If you are on Facebook, please allow StreamYard to have access to your information so that if you decide to comment or share anything, I can actually see your name because it will not show me that information without doing that. Hey, Kalima, how are you? Good to see you, beautiful. All right. I'm just going to give people just a few minutes to join because some people might be on lunch break. And normally I go on at 11. Today I had a business call that lasted a little bit longer, so I'm a little bit behind. Woo! Y'all, I got to go turn this heat down. It's like 30 something degrees outside, and I think my heat is on like 70, but it's hot up in here, and I even got my fan on. So give me a second. I'm going to go turn my heat down because I'm about to burn up. I'm about to really burst a sweat. So hold on just a second. All right, all right. I'm back. Hello, hello. All right. So T Talks with Coach Tracey. Y'all, let me tell you what the acronym stands for, just in case folks don't remember. T stands for thoughts, emotions, and actions, because our thoughts create our feelings and emotions, and because of those feelings and emotions, our actions. That's how we're going to start showing up. So that's what we talk about on Tea Talks with Coach Tracey. And today's topic is the danger of ignorance. But before I get into today's topic, I want to introduce myself because not everybody knows me. My mama taught me some manners, right? I'm Coach Tracey. I'm a Black liberation and trauma healing coach for highly inspired Black women. Highly inspired meaning that they are ready to do the work. They know they need to do the work. They are willing to do the work. They're willing to be uncomfortable. They're willing to invest themselves, whether that's their time, their money, their resources, all the things, and that they are able to do so, meaning that they've done some work, but they need a little extra support, a little extra help. They're willing to pull back those layers. They don't want to do the surface level healing anymore. They're ready to go deep so they can actually get some healing that's going to be sustainable. That is what I mean by highly inspired women. Um, yeah. So let's get into today's topic, the dangers of ignorance. We've heard the saying that ignorance is bliss. And I don't actually believe that, because there's that saying also that says, what you don't know can't hurt you. Well, is that really true? Because if you don't know what it takes to get from this level to this level, and you have dreams, and you don't have that gap filled with the information to move you from one level to the next level, it is hurting you. It may not be hurting you directly, but it is hurting you indirectly, meaning it's not allowing you to have the fulfillment in your career or in your profession that you would like. You're not able to connect with the people and gain the resources that can move you from point A to point B. You're not able to have the income if that is what it is that you're looking for. You don't have the love that you're seeking because you don't know what it is that it takes from you to go from here to not having love that you want to here to having the love that you want. So it does hurt you, even if it's not a direct hit. It is hindering you in some capacity. So I don't believe that ignorance is bliss. I believe that it's dangerous to be ignorant when, and I'm going to say it this way, some of us choose ignorance. And when you're choosing ignorance, you may not actually believe that you're choosing ignorance because you're choosing not to level up. You're choosing not to dig just a little bit deeper to get to the truth. And when you are choosing ignorance, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, because sometimes we choose ignorance unconsciously because we've been taught that what you don't know can't hurt you and ignorance is bliss. So unconsciously, you're choosing it because that's what we've been taught. It is what it is. Consciously, we're choosing it. We're like, you know what? Let sleeping dogs lie. I'm not going to deal with that. You know what? I'm going to sweep this up under the carpet because one, I'm not ready to deal with it. Two, it ain't hurting nobody. That's the lie that we tell ourselves, and those things. So that's how we consciously not deal with it. But the fact of the matter is, whether it's a conscious or unconscious choice of ignorance, what we're doing is we're willfully, remember free will, we are willfully ignoring the truth. Willfully ignoring the truth. Because if we willfully ignore the truth, we don't have to deal with the consequences. At least that's what we think. We're still dealing with the consequences because we're not dealing with the truth. Again, your consequence right now is I'm here on level A. Let's talk about this from a relationship perspective. Because you're not willing to deal with the truth, that you're afraid of being hurt, that you have intimacy concerns, that you have a hard time with commitment because of abandonment and rejection from your childhood or from past relationships, you're going to stay here. So you're dealing with those consequences, meaning your consequences of constantly being in pain because you don't have that love, constantly comparing yourself to other people because they have the relationship, being angry or being envious of other people, or even jealous of other people because they have the relationship that you're seeking. So you're still dealing with some consequences. Now you have to choose between dealing with the consequences of staying in a place of ignorance or dealing with the consequences of doing the work to uncover the truth so that you can get from not having the relationship that you'd like to have, not having the career that you'd like to have, not having the parenting and relationship that you'd like to have, not having the relationship with yourself that you'd like to have, to removing the ignorance, removing the blinders, delving into the truth, and peeling back the layers so that you can actually understand where you need to make the necessary changes in your life. So now the consequences aren't all negative. Now you're removing those negative consequences of being envious because now you've figured out how to have those things that you want to have, right? You're learning. So now you're going to have positive consequences. You're going to start attracting and meeting the man or woman that is right for you because you've started to work on those emotional wounds because you're not ignoring them anymore. You're understanding that this is why I have this emotional wound. And this is what it takes for me to heal from this emotional wound, this trauma that I've endured. This is what it takes for me to liberate my mind and body. Right? While other people are joining, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you a little about today's tea sponsor also. And also drop in the comments because y'all, this is not a monologue. We having conversations. So if you've ever had a moment where you thought ignorance was bliss and it came back to bite you in the butt, let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. Today's tea sponsor is the beautiful company Zuruike and I hope I'm pronouncing it right because I've practiced it and I know I'm butchering it. Zuruike Tea and Candles. Y'all, first of all, let's check out this packaging. Check out the packaging, okay? Okay. I'm loving it. This company was founded by a Nigerian-American cousin duo. One's name is Anne and the other one's name is Ogechi. And I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. If you are on here, please let me know and tell me how to pronounce your name. Right? All right. I'm posting their information. I'm going to pin it rather, on Instagram so you guys can check them out. But let's look at I said it correctly, Zuruike, Igbo. The name Zuruike means relax, rest. I love it. So they're a luxury wellness company, and this is my first time opening it. I'm drinking their citrus ginger tea. It is really good. The one thing I'm going to tell you about this tea, you do not need to let it steep long. It has a bite to it. That's what I'm going to say. It has a bite to it. And here is their packaging. They are eco-friendly. You can actually recycle and reuse this box, which I do plan to use. I love their packaging. Their teas are loose tea, as you can see. The teas are loose tea, and this is their packaging. Again, this is their citrus ginger green tea, which is why it does have a bit of a kick to it. And I actually need some green tea today. I need some caffeine because I got some serious work to get done. Their teas are premium fair trade teas, and they hand select their teas. And the reason why they don't use tea bags is because of the toxins that are in the microplastics of tea, which I absolutely love that. I have a fondness for loose teas, so this works for me. This is their beautiful thank you card that they sent with their packaging. I absolutely love it. And on the back of it is a picture of this is Ogechi and this is Anne, of the owners, and they are based out of Michigan. Not only are they based out of Michigan, they are recent college grads who started this. One, because this is something that they always did with their mothers. It's a tradition in their family. So I'm loving that this is based and steeped in family tradition and ritual. But they also did it because of the pandemic. They wanted to bring joy to themselves, but they also wanted to bring joy to other people as well. So this is a pandemic started company pretty much. And it's young people. And this is the beautiful thank you card and the cards that they provided. Now, one thing about this company is that they're not just a tea company. They are also a candle company. And I did not open the candle yet, and I'm just getting it out of the box. I want you to see their packaging. Their packaging is amazing. I've got my candle wrapped in the bubble wrap. I've got my little peanuts to ensure that it's going to get to me the way that it's supposed to. And then on the outside of it tells us to reuse and recycle. I love it. Sustainability is very important for all of us if we want to stay on this earth. And then up under it, there's some other paper. So I am just smelling my candle, and it is their citrus punch candle. Can you guys see that? Their citrus punch candle. I will more than likely light this later tonight. Let me move this off my desk so I can have some room. Yay! Matter of fact, you know what? Oh, guys, it smells so good. I'm going to light it now. I know I should have trimmed the stem, but just act like we didn't. So I lit my candle. Oh, I can't wait. And this tea is, again, it's got a kick to it. The green tea, go get you some. These would make an awesome gift for the person on your list that enjoys luxury. And y'all, I want y'all to look at this. The top of the candle even has their branding on it. Y'all, I love it. 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 All right. So let's get back to the topic, conversation. Why am I talking about this ignorance? Is it bliss or not? The reason why I'm talking about it is because we are less than, it is what, 20, today is the 7th. So we have 24 more days left in December of 2021, 24 more days in this year, 2021, right? And I know many of us are waiting to make New Year's resolutions or promises or whatever you call them to yourself. I used to call them promises to myself because I do not like breaking promises. So when I set a promise, I knew that I was going to keep that promise to myself to do whatever it is that I said I was going to do for the new year. Because again, if you break a promise to yourself, come on, right? That's how I felt. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because there is plenty of time to start building a solid foundation for 2022. Don't wait and put your life on, because what we're not doing anymore, we have been waiting our entire lives, many of us, to have the beautiful relationships, to have the amazing career, to have the amazing home. And I'm going to say the amazing home because not the amazing house. I'm going to say the amazing home, because when I think of home, I think of love, I think of comfort, I think of intimacy, I think of softness, I think of shelter, I think of security, I think of stability. When I say home, it is someplace that I am coming to where it is my sanctuary, it's my haven. Some of us have been dreaming about that and trying to make, and I'm going to say dreaming, not even are we trying to make it happen. We will start with all these ideas and thoughts about how we're going to have the most amazing year. Why not start making that happen now? Why are you putting off happiness? Why are you putting off your joy? Why are you putting off your abundance, your prosperity? I mean, I really want to know. Why? You deserve that now. You deserve it in this moment. Right now is all we have. And we are grateful for the possible future, but even the next second isn't ours. So invest in your happiness today. Invest in doing what you can do for yourself today, and investing in yourself to have that joy, that peace, that prosperity, that ease, that flow, to liberate your hearts and minds of the trauma, and your body of the trauma of whatever it was, whether it was childhood trauma, whether it was from rejection, abandonment, guilt, shame, all of those things. The only way to invest in doing that is to do the work. Because every second, every minute, every hour, every day, week, month, year that you are doing the work moves you closer to moving out of that place of stagnation, not having the dreams that you want, to here, where you're trying to get to. Because every time, the more work you do, you close the gap. That part in the middle is that part called becoming. Oh, yes. Hey, Flo over on Facebook. Thank you so much. She just broke it down. You almost missed Tea Talk. Don't worry. You know, I try to save it. But I'm glad you are here. This tea is amazing. If you like green teas, definitely. The packaging, all of it is just amazing. But you got to do the work. We can't keep talking it. We can't keep talking about Black girl magic, Black woman magic. Magic happens when you do the spell. You got to have it. Either it's a candle spell, using herbs, you're using because you got to have the incantations. You got to all of that, okay? That's why affirmations and declarations over ourselves are so powerful. That's why mirror work is so powerful. Why I absolutely love it for my clients. Because many of my clients are dealing with deep wounds of rejection, deep wounds of abandonment. But when you are standing in that mirror and you're doing mirror work, investing in yourself, you're speaking, one, you're looking at yourself and you're speaking those things over yourself as they can be, as you would like for them to be, right? Hey, Transplantings. Hey, Brian Gillians. Hey, Holly at 19 over on Instagram. Thank you for joining me. But the only way you're going to get to that place is to do the work. You can no longer, ignorance is costing you too much. Ignorance is costing you your peace. Ignorance is costing you your love. Ignorance is costing you your joy. Ignorance is costing you your cheddar. Ignorance is costing you your abundance, your prosperity. And when I say abundance, I'm not just talking about financial abundance. I'm talking about your health. Because some of us are ignoring the health signs. Because when you are dealing with a lot of mental stress, mental dis-ease, mental distress, mental anxiety, all of those things, it is absolutely 100% affecting your physical body. Trust me, it is. And if you think it's not, look into a lot of the illness. The dis-ease is because of a lot of the stress and the trauma on the body. That is, and a lot of that is generated by what's going on in here. Yes, what we put in our body definitely does matter, but what you're putting in your body matters. If you care about yourself, if you're dealing with the dis-ease, you're more than likely paying more attention to what you're putting in your body. There are correlations to this thing. So that's, we got to stop doing that. It's dangerous. The danger of ignorance is that you are absolutely cutting your life off. So I really want you guys to really consider this, because I want you guys to have everything that is supposed to be yours, that's got your name on it. God, source, spirit, universe is waiting on you. Allah is waiting on you. Because what you know is that you're not going to get the big things until you can handle the small things. But you got to get to the big things. And the only way to get to the big things is to go through the small things. You got to, right? We have to have the courage to be truthful to ourselves. We have to have the courage to put our life, ourselves under the microscope and do that serious self-inquiry. And I know that is asking a lot of us, because so much has been asked of us as Black women anyway, right? But what's being asked of us is not even on our terms. But when you start to do the work of your healing and no longer being ignorant of the pain, where it started, getting to the culprit, the root of it, then you can start to have conversations and start doing things based on your terms and being unapologetic when you set those terms. Because then you're going to be in a position where you're able to say, I'm setting boundaries, I'm maintaining the boundaries, and I'm enforcing the boundaries. Because you know that boundaries is not about keeping people out, but it's about allowing you all to have deeper relationships by respecting each other's wants, needs, and goals and desires and all of those things, right? So the courage is definitely needed. Hey, Ian Palmer, how you doing? Hey, Planty Painter, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. So how do we get to that place where we are no longer allowing ignorance to control us, whether consciously or unconsciously? Well, one way is to participate in my 30-day Truth and Liberation experience. It starts on December 12th, and it's 30 days of being in a safe, judgment-free space where you're with your sisters, where you're intimately continuing or starting your healing journey in community. It's a space where you can do the self-inquiry, you can do the self-reflection and gain the self-awareness in community with your sisters, but you're still on your individual journey. No shame, no fear, no guilt. You're doing your work. That's one way. The 30 days truth and liberation experience, it's a creative vehicle, because inside this 30 days, each day you're going to be receiving an inquiry, a daily inquiry through email. And also it's going to be posted inside the Facebook group, where you are going to take a moment, 15 minutes out of your day. If that's how much, if that's all the time that you can give, 15 minutes, that's 15 minutes that you're giving to yourself. And there's no time requirement or time limit rather, but you do have to put some time into yourself, right? And these are deep questions and inquiries to help you to start going deeper, going below the surface, so you can get to the truth of the answers that are your truth, who you truly are. Now, just because we have these 30 days of self-inquiry, I've also paired it with some sweetness, because self-inquiry can be a little heavy, but I've also paired it with some sweetness. Each week, got healers coming in to help you integrate what you are learning about yourself and releasing also. So maybe it may be yoga, maybe it's sound healing, maybe it's sensual dance, whatever it is, we're sweetening it with that as well. And during the week, we have a group call. So we are connecting in community. So we are sharing our stories. We're sharing what has come up for us. We're able to talk with one another and gain that support so that we can continue on our journey. So that's some of the sweetness that I've also incorporated into it, because I realize this uncovering of our truths isn't easy, but it's necessary. It's necessary for us to level up. It's necessary for us to create fertile soil, because some of us got some messy, some soil. We haven't repotted ourselves. If you're a plant lover like myself, you know that your plants will sometimes start to show some distress when it's time to be repotted. Maybe the leaves start to turn yellow. Maybe you start to see that the leaves, hey, Lindsay, thanks for joining. Maybe you're starting to see that the new growth on your plants are much smaller than what they used to be. Maybe you're starting to see that it's not holding the nutrients, the water that it used to, because now it needs to be repotted. Maybe it needs new soil. Maybe it needs a bigger pot. There's so many reasons for a repot, but you have to do that with yourself also. You have to plant yourself in fertile, good soil for you to produce good fruit. And producing good fruit is not ignorance is bliss. So that's what the 30 days of truth and liberation journey experience, if you will, is so important. This is a space that's going to ask you, that's going to give you the space to ask, what's there? How long has it been there? How did it get there? Is it true? What do I do with it now? Do I want to keep it? Do I want to let it go? Is it serving me? Or is it hindering me? Right? It's also a place for you to deal with the things that you know that are on the surface that are hindering you, that you're already fully aware of. But it's also a place where it brings new things to the surface so that you can create and have a life that's aligned with your values, with who you want to be, where you want to go, where you want to live, the life that you want to create, that you've always dreamed of, the woman that you want to be, so that you can be fulfilled, so you can have all of those things. Because let me tell you something, if you're not dealing with what's going on up here, you're being dragged. Period. If you are not dealing with whatever is going on in your mind, if you are not putting your thoughts on trial, if you are not saying, is this true? Where did this come from? I am holding on to it. Awesome. This isn't something that we just let happen. Many of us have just held on to beliefs that aren't even ours. And that's what this 30 days of truth and liberation experience is about. It's about releasing those limiting beliefs, those limiting habits, those behaviors and ways of being that you just accepted as gospel, but they're really not. And let me just be real and be clear with you. Just because it worked for mom and them doesn't mean that it's working for you. And you already know that it's probably not working for you. But because it worked for mom and them, and because you are afraid of peeling those layers back, you're afraid of going deep, you're afraid of making somebody else unhappy. I don't know if you guys saw in my stories, I posted somebody was talking with their therapist, and they told their therapist that they don't shake up the apple cart, and they just let everything ride, and don't say anything, and just because they're trying to keep the peace. And their therapist asked them, but what about the peace? You keeping the peace around you, but what about the peace in you? That's what this 30 days truth and liberation is about. It's about creating peace in you. Because when you got peace in you, trust and believe you're going to have peace around you. And most of us don't have peace within us because we're so worried about everybody else around us. And it's time to put you first. You need to be a priority. You are your first priority. You should be. And if you have not been making yourself your first priority, this 30 days of truth and liberation will give you an opportunity to make yourself a priority. That 30 days will help you to start to create a positive habit of making yourself a priority. Because we've all heard the mind is a terrible thing to waste, right? We have all heard that. But we also have heard that the mind is our battleground. And if you are not enforcing it and reinforcing it with positive things, not just positive things and not the toxic positivity, but true positive things about who you are that are in alignment with your values, not your mama values, not your daddy's values, not your girlfriend's values, not your friend, none of that, your values. That's why there's a constant conflict. That's why there's constant you don't know which way to go. Ducking and diving, shucking and jiving, because there's no alignment. And let's be clear, the man is also a battleground because it's where conflict resides. Because if you're not in alignment, you're going to be in conflict. You're in conflict with yourself. You're in conflict with the world around you. You're in conflict because you're not living life on your terms. You're living life based on what everybody else has told you, the social conditioning, the generational patterns and habits and ways of being and thinking, right? So that's why there's a battleground there. And it's also where half of everything that you fear, hey, Kiki, how are you? Everything that you fear is going to happen, but it don't even happen a lot of times. That's why so many of us are trying to be in control, because we are afraid of what could happen. So we're living over here in the future, but we are totally disappointed and anxious living in the present because we are still trying to figure out, hold on, and control what could possibly happen. And the reason why we're trying to control what could possibly happen in the future is because we still haven't released what happened in the past. I'm just, hey, I am the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. And you have no reason to shoot the messenger. But you do have reason to pour into yourself because you're worth it. You've always been worth it. You will always be worth it. And if you don't think that you're worth it, this is even more reason for you to be participating in my 30-day truth and liberation experience. Hit the link in the bio if you are over on Instagram and get registered for it. And there are some surprise gifts also for the people who are participating. And I'll tell you one of them, if you've gone to the information page, is an autographed copy of my book, Living Whole and Empowered. So what's going on with y'all? Tell me a little bit of what's coming up for you guys. I've been talking. Y'all know I like for us to get together and have conversation. I don't like to be doing a monologue. Come on. Tell me what's coming up for you. Tell me what's coming up for you. And also tell me, have you gotten signed up for the 30 days of truth and liberation experience? If you have, thank you. I so appreciate it. I cannot wait to support you. And here's the thing. It's coming to your email. It's going to also be in the Facebook group where you can communicate with other people. But it's something that you're going to have forever, right? So that means you can go back to it often. Right? Because y'all, what we're not doing, we're not taking that negative thinking and those bad habits with us into 2022. Nah, we're not doing that. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I am not going to keep you any longer because look, I'm almost out of tea. But if anything I've said has resonated with you, spoke to your spirit, please definitely check out the link. I'm going to also put it here. Just give it some thought and join us on this experience. It's going to be amazing. If you participated in my first one last year, I think about 40 people signed up for it last year. We had an amazing time. We had some aha moments, some epiphanies. And over this year, I've seen several of those women show up so freaking amazingly powerful because of some of the revelations that they received during the 30-day self-reflection challenge. It's changed this year to the truth and liberation because that's what it's about. And it's now an experience, even more so than what it was last year. But definitely get in where you fit in and let's do this. Because again, what we are not doing going forward is we're not waiting to to create our happiness. We're not waiting to create our abundance and prosperity to next year or tomorrow. We're doing it now. We're doing it now because we deserve it now. And I am going to put it over here. Over on Facebook. Y'all, I wish there was a way to do this before I got online. Here we go. But I haven't figured out yet how to do it. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for another Tea Talks with Coach Tracey. I absolutely love coming in and hanging out with you guys. It says, wait a minute, try again. Not sure what happened. I'm going to try it again. Don't know what just happened over here, but we're going to get it together. Let's see. All right, there it is over on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Also, share this with your family, friends, your booze, and all of those people because you never know who needs to hear a word. And not only that, it helps with the algorithm. It helps us creators be seen by more people because y'all know how these social media algorithms are. They suck right now. Hey, Amy, thanks for joining me. So please do share, post it in your stories, hit that little airplane button, and send it to your friends. Let's get this let's help each other because we have to support one another to get the word out and all these things to people. All right. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow because I will be going live tomorrow night at 7. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. And I'll be going live on Thursday. I can't remember if we're going live at 7 o'clock or I think we're going live 7 o'clock, me, and 4 o'clock, Diana. Sample House, if you guys know her. And then I'm going live tomorrow with Toned Bagum. Y'all, I cannot wait for us to talk. So, yeah, thank you guys. I love you. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Tuesday. And I will see you guys later. Thank you guys again. Until the next time, continue to plant those seeds that are going to propel you forward so you can continue to do what? Grow, thrive, and flourish so that you can be the woman that you know you can be, the woman that you want to be, and the woman that you have been predestined to be. Hey, Source, God, Allah, Spirit, Universe, they're just waiting on you to show up. Do the work. You got this. I love you. Bye-bye.